Okay, there's still a few people getting on, but we'll go ahead and get started. I don't want to keep you all late. So welcome to the Freedom Team Thursday night ambassador training. This would normally be something where we would just show and we would go through the slides and we would do step by step kind of some quick new ambassador training. But because we're just having so much growth and everybody is kind of, we have some people that jump on really fast, others that are a little slow to start. So I just Tammy and our upline just really felt like this would be a good chance for us to do some Q&A. I am going to mute. Well, is everybody hearing me okay? It sounds like we don't have a whole lot of background noise, so we're doing good right now. If you're muted and you have a question, you want to ask something, just feel free to unmute yourself, but don't get upset if I turn around and mute you back because you might have some background noise. So Tammy just said, have a few nuggets to share. And then, of course, I made a whole page of nuggets. And so I'm going to try not to talk too much, which for those that know me, that's kind of hard. But I'm hoping that you guys have brought some great questions to the table. So I'm a Ruby ambassador. I've been doing this since I was a customer in December of 13, just wanted to lose a couple extra pounds. By March, I was all in. At the time, I didn't know that, sorry, I was looking to mute everybody. I didn't know that about gut health. And so as I was starting to use the products and getting going, more and more was coming up about gut health and the probiotics. And so I went on the Triplex combo. And I have rheumatoid arthritis. And at that time, I was on 7 medications. And within a year or so, my RA was in remission, and I was off all my medications. And I still take 0 medications for my RA. I only use my Plexus products. And a lot of people would think that I use a lot of E's. I can't even tell you. I don't even know that I've ever finished one single bottle of E's. So it's just been amazing. So of course, I believe in the products. And then this time last year, I was able to build my team to a point where I was able to quit my job and just work my business from home full time. And that has been a gift that I never would have thought that I could have ever achieved. And so I have a lot more to go. I feel like I've definitely taken the long road. But, I see squirrels and I get distracted. And and that's okay. This is my journey. And I don't ever want you to compare your journey to anyone else. So with that said, that's my journey in a very quick nutshell. Who's ready with the first question? Because I'm ready. Who's got the hard question out there?
Do you have a question? Do you? No. I came unprepared. I did.
No questions? Okay.
Go with your nuggets.
Okay. So my first nugget is the other day Tammy had posted there was the call Tuesday night, and it was Natalie, and I may say her name wrong, so I apologize, Knab, I think. And I related to her so much, and it was really funny because I was watching the video while I was listening to the video while I was driving. And first of all, I related to her so much because she chased squirrels like I do. And what she made me realize is that I don't have to be this perfect, organized. I just have to be me, and I can still be successful at this. A big thing that she said, and I have like 6 points here that she said, was to share from the beginning. Don't wait. You cannot wait until you have a testimony. You can't wait till you've lost 50 pounds. You can't wait till you're making, $60,000 a month. You have got to start sharing now, because that's just building and just from day one. Number 2 was everyone will relate and needs Plexus for one of 3 reasons: wealth, weight, or wellness. And so as you're listening to people, they're going to fall into one of those categories. And this isn't, you don't just like walk up to somebody and say, hey, what's your problem? And then you figure it out. This is just you having a conversation. For example, the other day, I've been on this hunt for this pair of the new booties, the new short boots, the ankle boots. And I'm very particular about what I want. And I'm pretty sure what I want doesn't exist, but I want them. And I'm still looking for them. And the other day I was in Cato, and they had it wasn't what I was looking for, but they were gorgeous and they were gray and they were so cute. And I'd set my purse down and left my flip flop and I walked over to the mirror and this older lady came over and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I left my purse in your way." And she's like, "Oh, it's okay, honey." She said, "I just thought maybe somebody forgot their purse." No. And I just started up a conversation with her and she was looking at the same shoes I was. And she said, "Oh, those are so cute, but I got the diabetes and my feet are really bad." Said, and so I just giggled her because I could so relate to knowing people who in my life that are like that. And she said, "My feet get really bad." And she said, "So I have to be really careful what shoes I get." And I said, "Well, that's crazy because my father-in-law has diabetes also." I said, and he had that same problem, but since we got him started on Plexus, he doesn't have that problem. And she said, she's like, and I was just quiet. I just shut up. And she was like, "Well, what's Plexus?" And that just opened that door right there. So just finding that, then we became friends. I gave her my card and I had a Slim in my purse. She told me about her husband having cancer and the struggles. And I told her about gut health there. And we probably spent maybe 5-7 minutes just visiting in Cato. And I got her name and we're going to talk later. But it's that easy. It's just being open to those opportunities and listening to what her need was. I didn't ask her what was wrong with her. She told me what was wrong with her. And then I found that opportunity that opened that door. Another one is less is more. Don't overload them. Create curiosity. Again, I just put it out there. Hey, my father-in-law had the same problem. He has diabetes also, but since we got him started on Plexus, he's fine now. And I was quiet. So just create that curiosity. Plant in your potential's mind, you're not going to notice anything from one stick, and watch them call you the next day with several things they noticed. If you tell them you're going to give them one stick of Slim to try, and you tell them, "Oh, you're going to sleep better tonight. Oh, you're going to lose 5 pounds. Oh, you're going to drink tons of water." They're going to call you the next day and say none of that happened. But if you tell them, "You probably won't really notice anything. I'm just giving this to you just to taste it and see if you like the flavor. If you do, then we'll talk some more." They're going to call you the next day with other stuff they found because you've just challenged them that they're not going to notice anything. And most people are determined to find something that they noticed in it. And then you have to promote yourself. I have to promote myself shamelessly because no one else is going to do that. And that is so important because even within your household, even within your family, within your tightest circle, you have fans, but they're not going to promote you like you would promote you. And so you have to do that shamelessly. And that's with your Facebook posting. That's with being out and making yourself vulnerable and building those relationships. And then have unshakable belief. You have to believe in the products, you have to believe in our company, and you have to believe in yourself. And when you have that component of those three things put together, you're going to be unstoppable. So, have I created any questions?
Not questions, but one of the other things that popped in my head since I'm very cheap was her suggestion of putting food coloring in her water bottle.
That was awesome. And I love how she said, "This is a recorded call and I shouldn't be saying it." And then she whispers it. She's like, "What's
yeah.
Because I have that same problem. I'm like, I've already had my pink drink today.
Yeah.
I can't afford another one today, or I can't have another one today. And I just thought that was hysterical. I love that. So,
because that's what I told Wanda tonight. I said, I had thought of that, but I'm thinking, but I may try it now.
Just don't spill it on yourself.
Yeah. And that I would probably do. Yes.
Exactly.
Can't even brush your teeth.
And feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question.
Well, okay. If you have the incident in Cato's today and but you don't have the same scenario, how do you approach that? You don't have the relation, my father-in-law had, the same issue. How do you?
Okay, so if you ran into someone and she said to you, "I have diabetes and I have to be careful what shoes I get."
Yeah.
What other response could we, and everyone can get in on this. What other response? I know the other thing I would have said is, "Oh, you have diabetes? Have you ever heard of Plexus? It was created for diabetics." to level their blood sugars. Does anyone else have any input on how they would answer that?
You could associate it with maybe another customer or whatever, because as far as that case, like what you had, Gina, I have 2 customers that actually use the Ease cream from the neuropathy.
Right. So you could have taken it to where I was going more with her diabetes, but you could have, with that same person, Luann could have said something like, oh my gosh, so you must have something like diabetic neuropathy. I know of this product that really helps with that. It's an all natural product that you could rub on there. So I think there's always a gateway. There's always something that we can relate. And that is another reason for knowing testimonies and listening to our opportunity calls that we have on Tuesday nights. And there's several different times, and listening to testimonies, because the more you listen to those, the more you hear those things, they're going to pop up later down the road in those opportunities. Because no, it might not have been my father-in-law. It might not have been my father-in-law, but I would have found somebody to relate that to.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. Somebody has me on speakerphone, I think. I think I got it. And I'm just going to go down what I was doing. Okay, I have this recommendation. And who has been an ambassador on here less than 6 months? Raise your hand if I can see your video. So everybody's been an ambassador for a while. Oh, okay. Jen, is that Jen? Okay. So I have this leather book. You can see it's got some pages and some tabs sticking out of it. And this book I've had for a long time. It's like a journal. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just blank pages. And at one of my first events back in, let's see, it's dated here, November of 2014, I started writing notes in that book. And I am about halfway through with taking notes in this book. So what I did before this call is I started going through this book. And there were a lot of things that were repetitive. And this is listening to Jules speak. This is listening to videos. This is listening to all of motivational speakers, the conventions, 2 conventions that I've been to, the leaders retreats, the Super Saturdays, all those things. That's all in one space. So I highly recommend that you find one book to keep everything in. But there were so many things that stuck out, and so I just kind of was just writing things down. One of the huge one was belief that we talked about earlier. Another one was action. Just do something, anything on a daily basis to build your business. IPAs, income producing activities. That's a call. That's a text. That's a make a friend. That is meet up with somebody for coffee. Because I think it's kind of weird that we meet for coffee when we're promoting the energy pink drink. So I use coffee. Anything, it gets easier each time, but if you will do some type of action each day, and that's hard for me sometimes, like I even struggle with that, but I have to tell myself action creates motivation. So the more action we take, the more motivated we are. The more motivated we are, we're going to want to do more action. So if we will just continue to do action, 1 action, 2 action, we'll just keep going, we're going to be more motivated, and it's just going to work out. You're just going to see that it's just going to make such a difference for you. So that was a big thing that I saw in my book over and over again. Let's see, we talked about being on the lookout for opportunities. I think that Angie jumped on, and Angie jumped on to throw me a curveball and ask me a question. And so what we're doing right now is I kind of have a shy crowd here, and they're not asking a lot of questions. And so I'm just slowly going through this little nuggets and notes that I have from my last couple years of just Lexus compiled notes. So what question, Angie, do you bring to the table?
Let's see.
I'm scared. Really thought she'd be ready with one.
Okay. What do I do if my team isn't doing anything?
Well, good question, since we all have this problem. You got to get busy. Because how can I expect my team to do anything if I'm not doing anything? And I have to tell myself this all the time. And again, I shouldn't be comparing myself. I can't compare myself to anyone else. And that is including those behind, those that are on my team that I'm leading, and also those that are above me or alongside of me. This is my journey. My goal every month is to go silver. Now I don't promote me going silver every month, and that means, of course, I've already gotten the silver achievement through Plexus, but that means I try and get 3 new ambassadors every single month, and that should be everyone's goal all the time. I'm pretty sure I've heard Diamond say that that's even their goal, is to go silver every month. And so I do reach out to my team. I'm trying to be better. I think one-on-one coaching is great. Sometimes there's a fear of not reaching out to them because they may not respond. And that is, it's kind of crushing when they don't respond. But again, you can't resurrect the dead. And that's when you go find new ones that do want to work the business. But I think the best way to get through that is you have to be doing what you expect them to be doing. You got to be recruiting. You've got to be posting. You've got to be learning and personally developing. And when they see you do that, they're going to come along, and I believe that they're going to join you. So, next question.
Do I have to know everything before I start sharing?
Yes. No, not at all. No, and that was from one of our earlier before you jumped on, and you share from the beginning. Just because you don't have a testimony, there's thousands of testimonies out there for you to share. One of my favorite things to do, and I found out that Tammy Elmore did it a long time ago, and I do it all the time. So you're like cruising through Facebook. P.S. Limit your Facebook time, because you will start scrolling, and an hour later you will look back and you haven't done squat but creep on people. And you cannot do that because you're wasting valuable time. However, I like to call it investing on Facebook. So I'm scrolling, I'm limiting my time, and I see a couple people have posted about allergies, or I see one particular person that I really, really, really want on my team, and she's posted about her fibromyalgia. She's posted about her arthritis. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go make a post about a testimony or something that has to do with whatever she's suffering. She doesn't know that I saw her post. She doesn't know that I'm creeping on her. But guess what? All of a sudden, my stuff's going to pop up on her page, and she's going to go, man, I've been struggling. Like, my allergies are killing me right now. And Gina just posted about this allergy stuff. Like, okay, maybe there is something to this. And so I feel like that's Facebook investing. Like you're out there, you're recruiting, you're marketing, you're looking. So I think that's a really good thing to do. I just chased a squirrel and forgot what the question was. Did I answer it?
Posting right away.
Okay. Yeah. You got to share right away. Don't wait. Everybody's got a testimony. There's always, especially now on shareables. Oh my gosh, have you guys been using the shareables? I did not jump on right away, but I've been using them lately. Those are so amazing. So if you go in your back office and up on one of the columns up on the right, I think it's under first tools and then library, and then it says tools and then shareables. It's like a gazillion. It's so easy. Like I can't even explain to you. You click on it, which one you want. It says share on Facebook, share through email, and then if you do it through Facebook, boom, it pops up. Well, then when they click on it, so somebody's scrolling through your Facebook and they see something like, oh, wow, what's this edge stuff Gina's talking about, this energy thing? I need some of that. It takes them right to your page. Like, you don't even have to, like, it takes them right to your website. How easy is that? Like, Plexus just blows my mind. They're just making it so easy for us. What else?
Well, and I think that if I remember right, on Natalie the other night, that was one thing she said, that you don't have to know everything, that there is resources out there to share with potentials.
Right. Yeah. And also, and a lot of that, like, and some of that reminds me of the personalities, you know, the different color personalities. And there's a couple different personality colorings out there, but most, you know, the biggest one that I think that we use a lot is the blue, green, red, and yellow. And green is research. Green loves all the information. They want to know all that stuff. So those are the people that are going to want, they're going to know everything. I'm not green, by the way, far from it. Still don't know everything and probably won't ever. But like I have someone on my team, Sarah McPherson, who she's very green. The girl is just a researcher. She loves just learning all that. So having her be my partner, we bounce each other, you know, we can bounce off each other. Where I just texted her the other day and asked her like a question I should know. And it was something like, about the iron, where does a person get their iron and the X factor? And I was pretty sure I knew it was I just totally went blank. Yeah, the New Zealand, the current, whatever. See, I can't even, like, how bad is that? But I needed her to confirm that. And she was like just able to pop it off like that. So when you, you want to have people, you're going to have those different personalities and that's okay. But that's why I'm not going to know everything. And she knows a lot, but there's things that I have that she, you know, she's like, hey, can you talk to this person? They're more of a blue fun person and they're going to relate to you, you know, so that's how that's going to work. So no, you don't need to know everything at all. Don't wait to know everything before you start sharing.
I have a question on renewals. I have a gal that her renewal date is the 9th of this month. And what happens if she doesn't renew by then? I mean, are you cut off right on that date, or?
Basically, it's her membership. So yes, it would be my understanding that yes, it would be no different than if she walked into Sam's on November 10th and tried to use her Sam's card. She would have to pay her $35 again, or $34.95 to renew that membership to be able to be a wholesale ambassador. Now, when it comes, I would think she's probably set up on an automatic renewal. But
well, I don't know if she is or not. Funds are she is laid off and her husband can't work. So funds are very tight right now, but she actually just got an aunt just ordered tonight. And so I told her, I said, you really need to get your membership. Make sure, call customer service and get it renewed. And she was kind of like, well, is it going to cost me anything? So, and I've tried to talk to her about, you know, you're going to make money off of this. You need to, you know, work on getting some customers. And
yes. So yes, it's going to cost her the $34.95, but depending on what her aunt orders, her aunt's order could cover that $34.95 by the end of the month. And I know that's kind of a gamble, like she's gambling, you know, going back and forth. But if she doesn't renew, if she's your level one, well, let me just rephrase that. If she doesn't renew, whatever she would have made goes up to her, whoever her level one. So, I mean, I hope she does, because depending on, and who knows, I mean, this is only today's what, the 2nd or the 3rd? Oh my gosh, she could bank, I mean, she could go find 3 or 4 new customers and not just cover her $34.95, but so much more.
Right. And I tried to explain that to her. And I think, you know, it's like she understands, but she says, well, I'm putting all my time into trying to find a job. And I'm thinking, you're not putting all your time into finding a job. You know, you can work this some. So.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Anything else? Okay, I'm going to the list. If you have a question, if it pops up, interrupt me. Next on the list is videos. I can't stress, there are so many Plexus videos, not just in our library, but just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in Plexus and then Diamond. Type in Plexus and Triplex. Type in Plexus and some name. And a video is going to pop up. And whether you have 5 minutes at lunch or you've got 15 minutes, you're going to find a video that's going to help you. I would encourage you to watch a video a day if at all possible. I know streaming data is kind of, it can get expensive, but every now and then, if I'm driving to Norman, that's about a 45-minute drive for me, I will listen to an opportunity call, or I listened to Natalie's thing the other night, because I'm getting a whole lot more out of that than I love my country music, as we were talking about earlier, but at the same time, that's not growing my business. Listen to those videos is what you need to be doing. So lots of there's videos everywhere. If you can't find one, if somebody calls you or they have a question about something, go to YouTube, and I bet you'll find a video to help you answer it. Objection. Let's talk about objection. Some people call objection, I might call it an excuse every now and then, and I'm pointing at myself just as much, but I was kind of writing down some objections here and going through my stuff earlier. Here's one. I live in a small town and everyone does it. So everyone, the market is saturated. There are a lot of Jules that live in a lot of small towns. I think down in Ardmore, there's 7 Jules that get all their mail at one zip code, and that town is, I would guess maybe 7,000 to 8,000. I mean, Ardmore's not that big at all. I live in Lindsay. I live in a town of 3,000 people. What I tell people, this is my response. I don't know everybody that you know, and I want to get to know them because we want to know who they know. So who do you know outside of this town? Because most everybody that I talk to in Lindsay knows someone outside of this town. Okay, well then who do they know? Okay, who do they know? And we want to dig deep. We're going to cast our net far and wide. So it's not just about your level 1s, and sometimes it's not even about your level 2s. It's about who your level 3s know. Your next superstar may be your level 3. That is an easy objection to get around. Rejection. A lot of people struggle with rejection. You have to remind yourself that it's not personal. It is not personal by any means. They're not saying no, never. They're just saying no, not right now. That person may have just gotten, you may send them the best text you've ever sent anybody. You're like, man, this is golden. Like, I'm going to find 10 new team members just today because this text I just wrote up is amazing. And someone texts you back and just says, hey, listen, I just can't. Who knows what news they might have just gotten 10 minutes before you sent them that text? Who knows what was going on in their life just right before you sent that text, the day before, the minutes before you sent that? So you cannot take it personally. You've got to change your perspective. You've got to get over yourself, and you've got to keep your passion. Nobody's no should slow you down. They're just saying not right now. So change your perspective, get over yourself, and keep your passion and move on to the next person. I'm on my 3rd year. I know Angie's been doing it, I think, just as long, and I know several of you have. It happens not as often as it used to, but probably weekly, definitely monthly, a couple times a month. Someone that I had contacted 2 years ago says, okay, now I'm finally ready. What can we do? Or someone who tried the products 2 years ago, they did it for a month, and now they're like, okay, now I'm all in. I'm ready now. And then they call me 3 months later, and they're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is life-changing. So it's not personal, I promise. And that is really hard sometimes for a lot of us to deal with, but you've got to let this little voice up here get out and not convince you that it's you.
Gina?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I have a friend that I've been doing this right out or a little over 2.5 years. And I just posted like a pick the pumpkin challenge.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was cool.
Long story short, I have a friend that I sent her a 7-day. She's been watching me for the full 2.5 years. She watches my videos. She watches my posts. She's never liked, never commented. And when she got the 7-day trial, she said, I just felt like I was supposed to try this. And I just thought she's going to pick me. And then she did. So that's something that I share too. I'm like, I've been doing this for 2.5 years, and she's never even, so people are watching, and then when the timing is right, they'll jump up.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people are just looking for more information, but they're scared to ask. I remember, and it's so funny you talked about she's never liked anything. I remember a couple years ago, and this was before I got into Plexus. My sister, you remember the Jamberry nails? Like the stickers you put on your fingernails and you blow dry them. And my sister had done it, and I had gotten a sister-in-law of mine out in California interested in it, and so she signed up. Well, and I didn't know she did. Well, she posted something about Jamberry nails, and I was like, I just liked it because I was excited that she got into this. I'm not kidding y'all. I think it was 30 seconds. 30 seconds, I get a text from her that is like this long that says, hey girl, saw you liked my post, and just threw all this Jamberry, you should join my team, da 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 da. And I was like, well, one, I know she didn't type it that fast. But so I have made a commitment, and I probably need to make this a post, that I won't ever do that to anyone that likes my stuff. Because I know how I felt. Like, I was attacked, like, wow, instantly. And I don't ever want anyone to think that that's what I'm doing. I'm just sharing with you. And the fact that you like it, that just tells me you support me. If you want more information, you're going to contact me. And so I just, it is hard. So that's why a lot of people don't like your stuff. It's not that they're not looking. It's they're so afraid, because someone probably at some point has probably attacked them like that with the 50-foot text message, and they're just scared that you're never going to leave them alone once they like it. So again, you can't take it personally. They have their reasons. And if they, and that's up to you. If somebody does like it and you want to send them a text, that's great. For me, I personally don't. I just appreciate their support. Now, down the road, I might run into him at a ball game, and I may somehow drop Plexus in the conversation, and then we go from there. But I don't ever say, hey, I saw you liked my post. Here's a whole bunch of information. Join my team. So turn the talk back to what you know. Speak with confidence, so that we're still kind of on objection. And I think I listened to a Q&A, I think with Nikki Shallow last week, and they were talking about, how conversations can get, what if they ask me something I don't know? Turn it back to what you do know. And this is where, like, watching videos and reading testimonies, the more you read, the more you watch, the more you're going to learn. You're going to have more confidence to do this. But if and don't be afraid to say, I don't know. If, like, my person who said, hey, I have an iron deficiency, is there iron in your X Factor? And I was like, no, not like exact iron, but there is a way for you to get iron, and hold on, let me get that answer for you. And then I confirmed it with Sarah and then got back to her. But turn it back to, listen, I don't know that, but I do know this. And so, learn the products, learn the business, and then turn those conversations back to what you do know. Don't let them intimidate you. Okay, questions? Y'all still with me? Are you learning anything?
Not a question, but that was another thing when you said drop or whatever. That was something that Natalie said, to always drip.
Oh, yeah. That was really good. She talked about dripping on people. Dripping just little tidbits of information here and there. And it was funny because, Pam, when I was listening to that in the car, in the truck driving home, I was like, oh, I do that. I do that. I do that. I was so excited that she put a name to it. And just dripping information on people, just giving them little tidbits here and there, just little drops of information, whether it's in your posting, whether it's in your conversation with them, whether it's whatever it is, just letting them know that you're still there, you're still excited, you still have belief, and eventually they're going to come to the pink side.
Gina, I had an ambassador today that we were doing a three-way call with her and one of our other gals, and she was talking about somebody had seen a post that she made, and they reached out to her, or maybe she reached out to them and just said, hey, I've been doing Plexus and I feel really great. Have you ever heard of it? And the gal said no. So then she said, would you like me to send you some info? And then she sent the gal info and then her phone number, and she said, I never heard from her. And I said, right. Because first of all, people get overloaded with information unless you're agreeing. And most people aren't. And so I explained to her the drip, or the hitting the ball back and forth, statement and a question, because at some point when you do that, they're going to eventually ask you, how do I order, or what's your website? So I just think that that's important. And people, especially new people, don't know where to start, or they feel like people want to know everything. So that's great. I like the drip analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. And I love how you said about the whole, play tennis with them. When about 2 months ago, there was the snapshot of plexus challenge where you had them watch the video, and you had them watch the video. When they got back to you, they gave you the code word that was in the video, and then they got put in a drawing for $50, which I didn't win, by the way. Then what you said to them, hey, by the way, which stood out to you in the video? What was your favorite, the products or the compensation plan or both? And then people would reply to me and they would say, oh, it was the compensation plan. I'm looking at retiring. That would be great. And then we'd be, oh, okay. So then that would start that conversation. That would open up that conversation with those people. So like Angie said, always finish with a question with those people. Our products are wonderful. Thanks for checking it out. Say something like, I really hope you liked the video. What was your favorite product? And then just keep that ball rolling, that conversation open. If you have a question, just unmute yourself. Okay. Follow-up. I failed at follow-up really bad in the beginning, and it hurt me. You got to follow up. One of my favorites is I was helping my girlfriend move, and she's not the most organized person. And I was cleaning out she's got like not one, but 5 junk drawers in her kitchen. And I was cleaning them out and dumping them in the box. And she had 2 7-day trial packs in there. And I was like, Donna, what are all these doing? I was like, I didn't give you these. She's like, yeah. She's like, I need to take those. I'm like, yeah, you do. I said, where'd you get them? And she said, some girl at church. And I said, well, I mean, I know you and I have been talking, but I mean, you need to get with her and order some. She's like, no, I'll just get it from you. I'm like, no, if she gave these to you, you need to stay with her. And she's like, well, what's her name? Because they had just moved. Her husband's a youth pastor, and they had just moved to this new church. And so we're looking at the packet, and there's no sticker, there's no name on the packet. And I was like, well, has she talked to you since? She's like, no, she just like threw it at me one day, said, drink this. And I don't even remember her face. Like, I don't know who the person was, because it was like only their second Sunday at the church. So that person never went back to her. And guess what? She's my customer. Because I mean, I really pushed her to seek that person, but the person didn't have their sticker or their name on the packaging. And then they never followed up with her. So follow up is crucial in your business. Which that story leads me to another one, which I just experienced with someone on this call. I was reaching out at the end of the month to all of our team and making sure everybody had their credit card fixed so their orders would process. And I called this one lady, and I think she was my level 3 or 4. And I mentioned to her that, hey, your card it looks like your order went in, but your card must be messed up, so you probably need to call and get your card straight. And she said, now she's an ambassador. And she said, oh, she's like, me and my upline, my level 1, tried to fix that. We couldn't figure it out. And there was a girl at work who said she could help me. And so she just signed me up on her team. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't steal ambassadors. My team, the Journey team, and I'm not sure and I'm going to bet the Freedom team we work with integrity. And we are one plexus, and we are here to help everybody. And I would have appreciated it if that ambassador would have said to her, let me show you how to fix it, knowing that she wasn't getting anything out of it but hopefully a blessing. But instead, she signed this lady up under her. And this lady was older, I'm guessing, and maybe not as computer literate as some would be. And I'm trying to tell myself that she didn't take advantage of this particular person. So I'm just telling you right now, not cool. Not cool at all. Do not steal ambassadors. If you know someone is already working with somebody else, you help them, and I promise you it's going to come back tenfold in blessings, but do not steal ambassadors. It's just, we just don't do that on this team. We're just not those people. So that's my soapbox pet peeve for the evening anyway. And if you have, just ask Lord to forgive you. All right. Another question. Anybody? If nothing else, it's at least entertaining tonight, right? Okay. What else?
I actually have a question.
Yay!
If you have previously reached out to someone in all the wrong ways, whether it be puke plexus on them or do it apologetically, if, just wondering, or I'm, sorry, it's okay if you're not interested, how could you go back to that person and represent them with some information in a proper way after having embarrassed yourself?
No regrets. Remember, we're not going to have any regrets. One, I would make sure that you're building that relationship. You're building a non-plexus relationship. And what I mean is, however it is that that person, you need to build on that. And I personally would kind of put plexus aside for a little bit. Whatever your connection is, your kids, your church, your whatever, I would make that the conversation for a while and kind of rebuild that trust. And then I would drip on them. I mean, I would really just kind of just drop nuggets here and there. A lot of my friends, they giggle because my answer to everything is plexus. And so that kind of is our joke, and that is me dripping on them. But at the same time, they also know that my relationship with them isn't only plexus. And so I think my first bit of advice would be to just build the non-plexus relationship. And then I would go back and just be honest and be like, hey, listen, I kind of feel like I sort of might have did you wrong at first, and I might have messed up. I'm just really excited about this business, and I just get so excited that I just keep talking. Is there anything that you're curious about regarding these products that maybe I could give you some small information? You could also, something like, I don't know. I'm just more of the honest, listen, I messed up. Oh, the other thing is learn her personality. Who is this person? Are they a yellow person where they're more of a servant's heart, where they like to help people? Are they green and like information? Are they red and they're all about the money? Are they blue and like the fun? And when you figure who that person is, figure out which personality they fit into, then that's how you want to deliver that information. So let's say you dumped a bunch of information on them, but they're not a green. They're more of a blue. They're more of fun, and I don't care how we get there, but let's go make a whole bunch of money and have fun doing it. So you're going to tell her things like, oh, girl, we are going to dinner, and then we're going to this opportunity. My team is so fun. You have just got to come. You just come. Like, you don't have to listen to what the speaker's saying because it's probably not even interesting to you. But just come hang out with me tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. Does that make sense? Okay. And if anybody else has any input on that question also.
I would go the apology route and just own it and just say, you know what, I'm sorry. When I started, I was new and I didn't know what I was doing, and I know I puked plexus all over you. I would love it if you'd give me a chance, give me a redo. And, and just say, I'd love 15 minutes to be able to share with you a little bit. What do you say? And most of the time, if you come at it from the I screwed up perspective, I want to make it right, it's hard for people to say, no, I'm not going to give you 15 minutes.
I agree.
So that's how I would go. And I would just say, I really think this could be a blessing. And the other thing that I just want to say is to be confident and bold when you're sharing the information. That's something that I think is so important. You really do have a golden ticket, whether it's for their health or finances or both. And if you are in the slightest bit hesitant, they're not, if you're not sure, why should they be sure? And so that's just a 2 cents on top of the 2 cents I just shared.
4 cents. Woo! Anybody else? Okay. 1 minute elevator speech. Who has an elevator speech ready? Anybody know what an elevator speech is? Okay. So you and I, just like the shoe lady at Cato the other day, you and I run into each other, and we've never met before. And we actually did this in the elevator at Leaders Retreat in Norman last year, ladies. And she said, hey, what are all you people doing here? This is like a crazy, crowded, crazy bunch. Who are all these people? We're with Plexus. Have you ever heard of it? And she's like, no. We're like, it's a health and wellness line of products. It's amazing. Well, what does it do? Well, for me, I have rheumatoid arthritis. And before I started the products, I was on 7 medications for my RA. I mean, I did it all. And now I'm on 0 because it helped put my RA in remission. Bam, shut up. And that's my elevator speech. And that's how I get the conversation starting. You need to have that elevator speech, something nice and quick that they're just going to, like that hook that they're just going to go, tell me more. I want some. Does anybody else want to share their elevator speech? Luann, you don't have an elevator speech?
I don't have one.
So disappointing.
Sorry.
Done, you guys. So wrong. So
I need to work on it.
Mine's kind of like yours, Gina, but I do the cancer lymphedema.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's so quick, and you're just throwing it out there and just like teasing them and then getting them to go, and because instantly their mind is going to go, oh, I know somebody with RA. Oh, I know somebody that had cancer. Oh, I know somebody that has diabetes. They're instantly going to relate to something you're going to say and someone they know, and that's where that conversation. The other thing is when you're making that connection with a stranger, don't do the hit and run. I did the hit and run at the drive-thru like a million times at Taco Bell. I would be like, you're so cool. I'm looking for people like you on my team. Here's my card. And then I would like leave and be like, oh, I did it. I did it. I did it. Well, guess what? I have no idea who I gave my card to. Like, this woman to this day. So don't do that. Do not do that. So seriously, you have to get their name. Angie's really good, which I see she jumped off. Angie is super good about saying, hey, oh my gosh, I'm always sharing information about my Plexus stuff. Let's find each other on Facebook here. And she'll like open up her phone and she'll go here, and she'll pull up her Facebook and she'll say, here, find you, and I'm going to send you a friend request and let's be friends. Bam! She instantly has their Facebook. They're all of a sudden jumping up on her stuff is jumping on their feed within seconds. That easy. It's that easy.
One thing you talking about the Facebook deal, which I think is a great idea, but I think it was Tuesday night she was talking about Facebook, or maybe it's something else I watched recently. But she said that she does that, but then she does a screenshot of it.
Yes, and Natalie
So
did.
if she would happen to forget the name or that person, you know, for some reason or another, then she has a screenshot of it to know that person's name and information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because people aren't going to give you their phone number, but they're going to give you their Facebook. So, and that's, I mean, you just pull it up, or if they have theirs open, I'm like, here, let me find me on your phone. And then you send you a friend request from their phone, and then it has to be connected, because she said that sometimes people don't accept the friend request. But yeah, just finding them and doing that. So 1 minute elevator speech, everybody should have one. Questions? Let's see. I think we have to go we got 10 minutes. So are we still good? Are y'all bored yet? Okay. Don't tell me if you are. Okay. Facebook posting. That's a good lead in, because let's talk about Facebook posting. Be consistent. You can't post about Plexus once every 2 months and people expect that you're in business. You gotta be consistent. They have to know that you believe in these products. They have to know that you're not going anywhere. I can't tell you, and being in a small town of less than 3,000 people, I can't tell you the number of people that go, listen, I have people that are ambassadors that order from me because they don't, I'm like, guys, you have your own ambassador, go order. They're like, no, you just order for me. I don't want to mess with it. Or they're like, you've been doing it I've been looking into Plexus. I know that 10 people in town are doing it, but you've been doing it for so long. I want to stick with you. That's awesome, because they know I'm consistent. They know that I'm faithful to the products. They know I'm not going anywhere. You've got to show them your belief. Always be positive on your Facebook. You can't post about gut health and the triplex combo, and then your next 5 posts on Facebook are about how sick you've been and how miserable you are and how much your life sucks. You can't do that. Because then they're going, okay, well, she just posted all this stuff about this product that's supposed to be life-changing, but yet her life is miserable. You can't do that. You always have to be positive. I'm not saying be fake, and I'm not saying don't be transparent. But some stuff, it just doesn't need to be put on Facebook.
You mean I can't put my ice cream on Facebook?
Oh, girl, and I meant to do it, and I saw a squirrel and didn't do this. But I'm telling you, the Schwann's sea salted caramel is addicting. Like it's it's amazing. So and I haven't thought about that in like a year, and then you post it, and I was like, I gotta have some. This Schwann's sea salt caramel ice cream will blow your mind. And it's not low sugar like yours was. So.
Well, that was from Aldi's, dear.
But like Amanda, like something that a good example was when Pam made this post about her ice cream the other day, and she was saying, listen, I've just had some stink going on, and I want some ice cream. And then very, 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 very little bit, she was like, but don't worry, I took my block. I'm okay. She didn't do like a big old block blow up. She didn't put a picture next to it. But when someone read her post, like the very last line was, I took my block, don't worry. That's going to get somebody going, well, she's selling ice cream. She got her block. She looks good. Something's working. So it's a little bit of dripping. That's exactly what that would be. Engage. Okay, so this is awesome. And I'm not a social media guru, so this is very 101, if not even less, whatever less than can be the 101. So when what's popping up on our feed, those are people that we're engaging in. So let's say you have 400 friends, but you're only seeing posts from about 20 of them. So what you need to do is you need to go into your friends list, and then you need to go through those people that aren't popping up on your feed and click on their name. That's going to take you to their page, and pick about 2 or 3 things on their page to like and to comment on. Then their stuff's going to start popping on your page. Well, guess what? That also means that your stuff is going to start popping up on their feed. So the more you're engaging with people, don't just create, because your stuff isn't going to be seen by anybody. Also, you want to make your stuff popular. So some of my favorite ones are, you'll see us post stuff like mayo or Miracle Whip. Oh my gosh, toilet paper, over or under. That, I think, for me, got like 68 comments one night. It's amazing because people want to give their opinion. We live in a society where everybody has an opinion, and they can't wait to share it, whether it's about their mayonnaise or their toilet paper or anything else. So giving people, getting them to engage in yours. So let's say Joe Smith, you haven't talked to him in 10 years. You guys have been friends on Facebook for 5. His stuff has never popped up. Well, guess what? You post this over or under toilet paper post. People are commenting. Well, now you're popular. You've got 40, 50 comments, so you're popular. So all of a sudden, your stuff's going to pop up on his page, and he's going to comment. Well, now you and Facebook's algorithm says, oh, they like each other, they're friends, so I need to post more of her stuff on his feed. So now he's seeing your stuff. Does that make sense? Okay. So we definitely want to be engaging with our audience on Facebook. And even Tammy Elmore, she's like, happy birthday. Happy birthday. When you're what's it called? Notification. Yeah. When it says so-and-so's birthday, jump on their page, wish them a happy birthday, jump back off. You're engaging. Somebody as soon as you write happy birthday on their page, guess what? Your next Facebook post about Plexus is going to show up on their page. So, and be vulnerable, communicate from the heart. Like I said earlier, don't be fake. Don't be negative and ugly. I will tell you, I have people on my team that you drop the F-bomb, you're done. Like, I'm unfollowing you. I don't want you on, I don't want any of that. But at the same time, I want you to be, share from the heart, communicate from the heart, and be vulnerable. It's okay. That's just being brave. Brave was a big word with a friend of mine that I spent with today, and she just talked about, there's so many things that we do that we have to be brave. And running your business, you got to be brave. And so be vulnerable and be brave. Questions? Okay. I actually am getting low on my list, and there is a couple of these things I want to share with y'all. But Pam, did you have a question?
No.
Are you sure?
Well, I saw what time it was, so.
Go for it.
Okay. One of the meetings we went to, there was one of the diamonds they had on there, and she was talking about, and I have not researched this, but I didn't know if anybody knew, how to post, be able to set up your posts to go out during the day when you're at work and you're not able to do it. I didn't know if anybody knew how to do that.
I saw something on there. I was searching for something else one day on my page, and I saw that. Don't ask me where I saw it, because when I saw it, I thought of, I think it was you or I thought, man, I was talking about this to somebody, but I couldn't remember who it was. And then I went on because I was trying to search for something. And because it said something about scheduling a post, or I can't remember how it was worded for sure.
Okay.
But have you tried Googling it?
I need to, because I've got girls
Or
on my,
do the,
they work all day, and
yeah, do the help. There is a help button. And the reason I know that is because I was, trying to figure out how to contact Facebook because of them taking my quilting shed page down and stuff. And so there's, on that help button, you can actually put in what you're looking for or whatever too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That has been something I'm kind of like you. Like I would like to know, but it's nothing that I've really like spent time to go research. If anyone on this call knows, please feel free to unmute yourself.
There's a program called Buffer that I know I have some sideline team members that have used to schedule posts while they're at work.
Okay.
But that's on your phone.
Don't give me the line about that part. I just know the name of it is Buffer.
Okay. Yeah. I've tried it, and I don't know. I'm sure it was me doing it wrong, because my post went out like twice, one right after the other. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not good. So.
Okay. There's a few last things. What are you reading? Where are you spending your free time? Are you willing to trade 30 minutes of TV for 30 minutes of reading or videos for personal growth? That is a big deal. I just really want you to think about where you're spending that downtime. And I'm not saying you can't have downtime, but I almost feel guilty when I do finally sit down, because I'm like, did I do everything I could have done today to grow my business? Have I done something to grow my business today? And that's kind of, I don't allow myself to chill. And it usually is like my 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock is my chill hour with my family, or maybe my sit down time. We're always together. But I don't allow myself to do that most of the time until I've done something, some type of action for my business, some type of IPA for my business that day. And so I want to challenge you to either read IPA. Well, let me rephrase that. IPA, income produced activities, is sharing the business or sharing the products with someone. Reading, watching a video, personal growth, those are not IPAs, but those are necessary for you to be successful in your business. So I really encourage you to do that. And then what are you speaking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? What are your affirmations? We read a book a long time ago, and we need to do it again. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. It's what to say when you speak to yourself or when you talk to yourself. This book has been pretty life-changing to me, because we all have some type of trauma in our life. We all have been told no at some time. We've all probably even been told that we're not worthy at some point in our life. And we believe those constant recordings in our mind. And we allow those things to convince us that we can't do something. And so I challenge you to, I would love it if you would read this book, but I also challenge you to quit saying, I can't. I'm horrible. I'm not a great decorator. it's just not my gift. Like creativity, putting things together, it's just not my gift, and I'm okay with that. But I have tried to stop myself from saying I'm not a decorator, to saying something like decorating isn't my strong point. Now, I have other ideas and I'm good at other things, so I focus on those. And so I just want you to, I'm not good at speaking to people. Turn that around and say, today, I will speak to people today. I will be good at speaking to people today. Turn those around. And as you start speaking belief into yourself, on my mirror, and I put these up in my mirror a year and a half ago, and it says, people want to hear what I have to say. Because for the longest time, I truly believed that everything that came out of my mouth was just not worth anyone's time. And so I know that God's called me for a greater purpose. And so I have to believe, and I have to remind myself that I have something that people want to hear. Another one on my mirror is, I was meant for success and I was meant for greatness. God created me. I'm an unrepeatable miracle. And so you have to remind yourself all the time of those things, because the world and possibly events, and even sometimes our family, the ones that we trust and love the most, have taken that away from us. And so it's up to you to fix that and to change those things and to make you believe in yourself. And when you can do that, you're unstoppable. So you can either live your dreams or you can live your fears. Believe it or not, it's your choice. And which will you choose? Will you choose to live your dreams, or will you choose to live your fears? Fear is a mighty, mighty force. And if you let it win, you're always going to have regrets. So, any more questions? No? Okay. I'm going to pray us out because I know that's how Tammy would expect me to finish this. And then we will say goodnight. And I think I actually have the call next week too. So I know. So I did that because basketball season starts, and I'm just saying, when my daughter's playing basketball, we'll be at the basketball. I won't have any Thursday nights available. So Tammy's like, you have to do 2 in a row. I'm like, no, let me, because I'm not going to be available the next 3 months. So I don't know what we'll talk about next week. I may keep these notes and we may do it again, so you guys don't have to be on here. Or we may talk about something new. I don't know. So, okay, I'm going to pray us out and we'll get out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you for your grace and your mercy, Lord. I thank you for your you loving us and your understanding of us, God. I thank you for your unconditional love that you give us. You give me every single day, every single moment of the day. Father, I thank you for these ladies on this call. What a blessing they are, Lord. And I just pray just a special blessing over them. Lord, I ask favor for them, that, Lord, you would open doors of opportunity, that you would show them the belief, that you would help them understand that they are meant for greatness, that they are meant for success, Lord, and that you would just place people around them that embrace those ideas and that encourage those ideas. Lord, just bind Satan from their lives and just let them always see your light, and let them be the light. Father God, I just thank you so much for sending your son to die for me. I'm so undeserving, Lord. It's in his precious name I pray. Amen. You guys are awesome. Thanks for putting up with me.
Thanks.